when the white wolf fought a silver-tongued devil. His army of elves, at his hooves did they revel. They came after me with masterful deceit. They broke down my loot and they kicked in my teeth, while the devil's horns minced our tender meat. And so cried the witcher, he can't be bleed. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. At the edge of the world, fight the mighty horde that bashes and breaks you and brings you the morn. He thrust every yoke far back on the shelf, high up on the mountain from whence it came.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome here to Tales from the Grim for a little Wednesday Witcher action. We are back with our 20th episode. I can't believe we are already here in this fantastic story told by amazing friends and players, and of course, you the Legion. So if there is anything that you the Legion would like to do, for instance, in chat right now, Ugluk already donated for there to be a little bit of how do you like that silver, which gives us +2 and gives all the players +2 to every roll for the rest of the session. And my friends, with 20th episode, we have some rolls that are going to need to be made here, and I think that +2 is going to be very helpful. And so if you would like to take direct control and influence the narrative, look straight down and you can see that there are ways in which to donate. You can do anything from provide healing for one or all of the party. You can provide anything else that you would like by making it harder for the party with Winds Howling, which gives me the ability to jack up the competition. You can even call in the Wild Hunt, which our sister show had happen last night. And again, here's Hawk just came in with another +2 with how do you like that silver. So friends that are listening, you all have +4 to all of your rolls going into this, our 20th episode. And so that's the way that you can directly affect the narrative. How you can do it to help out for just getting the word out, right there is our going live tweet now in the chat. Please retweet that. When we get to 20, when we get to 30, when we get to 40, good things happen. I will either ratchet down DCs or strength of enemy, provide magic items, anything that happens to help the narrative. That is the way that the Legion contributes, and I act simply as a vessel. And so with all that being said, I would like to say we know why we're here, to tell the story of the Witcher, family of Wraiths. How can we be here? We have some fantastic sponsors. Right now going on in chat is we have a giveaway for the Artausorian Games Witcher PDF core rulebook. Just type !PDF in chat. You will be entered to win that core rulebook. It is fantastic. It's a good read. Even if you don't have a game in mind yet, read that and I guarantee you that you will. In addition to that, we have our virtual tabletop of choice, Roll20. Go to www.roll20.net/start/Tales from the Grim. Open your own free account. And if you have been suffering, your gaming has been suffering from social distancing or sheltering in place, get the band back together, go out, sit around a virtual tabletop and play in Roll20. It is there for you, and the stories that you can tell are just as poignant, just as meaningful, and perhaps a little bit more so during this time, whenever you can escape for a bit into a story of a collective narrative. And finally, I get to mention we have a brand new sponsor. We have, thank you very much, Hawk. We have a World Anvil is now sponsoring Tales from the Grim, World Anvil. If you have ever wanted to create a campaign and get into, even if it's just so much as collecting your notes in one place, collecting your NPCs in one place, making sure that your plots, your maps, your audio, if you happen to have it, your songs are all together, or if you're a writer, World Anvil is your software of choice. Go right now to www.worldanvil.com or look straight down and you can see that there is a link if you push on that. Go there. I am currently creating the Family of Wraiths campaign, and if we do that, I will be opening it up to everybody as soon as we have the ability to do so. So get ready. I'm adding in all of the information we've had from our first 20 episodes. I will be bringing in the players to do so, and I encourage you all to do the same. It is a fantastic piece of hardware. It is something that I used before they were sponsors. So it is very, very nice. I can't wait. Now, with that being said, there isn't much else to do here other than to get in and tell the story of Session 20, A Family of Wraiths. So, without further ado, let's bring in our fantastic group. They will introduce themselves and we will start playing a game. Everybody, welcome back. And we're going to go around real quick. Please tell me who you are, who you will be playing, and where we last saw them as they were inside the villa here in Bremervoord of Duke Aglaval, or at least somebody that looked like Duke Aglaval. But let's go around and talk to everyone as we start with Prax. Prax, my friend, how are you?
I am doing okay. It'll be fun. I am so glad we're back. I am so glad to play with all of you wonderful people again, and we'll see what happens. I get to play Ainfra, our mage and sorceress, and she was, I believe, about to walk out onto a balcony and avoid some of the drama that was going on quietly.
Very good. Very good. And yes, you did just receive some swallow, so make sure that you add those temporary hit points to your hit points to make sure that if anything bad were to happen, it would take more bad for it to happen. Let us drop down to Billy. Billy, my friend, how are you? Who will you be playing? And where were you?
Hello, my beautiful friends. I am Billy, or Bill of the Forest on the Twitter. I am playing Wim, a subjectively good-looking, large, hairy Witcher man. And you last saw him when he was about to go into a private meeting with the Duke Aglaval. I don't know if I can put parentheses around the whole things, but I'll just put parentheses around the parts of it that apply. And so much excitement. There's a lot of history here. It could get heated, or it could not. Who knows?
Who knows? We're going to have to see. Let us see exactly what happens. But before we get to that instant, let's go down to our elf, Lindy. Lindy, how are you? And are you ready?
Hello, I'm doing spiffy and I am so ready. I missed you guys terribly last week. So yes, let's just get right to it. I will be playing Yannick, a bitter, cantankerous elf healer. And she was last with the rest of the group that wasn't Wim, allowing Wim to walk off and have a private meeting with this probably definitely not Duke Aglaval, and she has many suspicions.
Yeah, so there's a theme, everybody. Let's jump over to Wim's brother. Josh, my friend, how are you? And what are you up to right now?
What am I up to right now?
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm trying to think of who else needs parentheses. We just met with Ezren, a dearly departed friend who we hadn't seen in a while, and that was great. There was a lot of clear, real people that we met. Everything was exactly as it seemed last episode, and things couldn't be more straightforward. Myself, I am currently watching my brother depart and finding myself a little bit unsure as to what is I'm contemplating just walking north at this point, Greg, and leaving the party and going to find a dwarf. But I've decided, because this is all straightforward and you have promised me that there will be no shenanigans, Like, I'm just gonna take a short rest and wait for my brother to get done with some chit chat. Oh, I'm playing Aris of Gesso. He's a Viper School Witcher.
I missed that whole last part anyway because I was trying to think back if I ever promised anything, and I don't think I.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you promised, and you also promised me your PIN number, social security.
Oh, I remember that part. Right.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Okay, it must have been that conversation. Let's jump up to JF. JF, my friend, how are you? And who will you be playing here in Family of Wraiths? You're muted, buddy.
It's been a while. It's been a week too many. I'm good. It's good to be back. It's nice to be with family when times are tough. I'm playing Deucey of Gamera, a retired witcher who was knighted by our long-lost Ezren, who was found last episode, but as they spoke, something was off, and I think he was fixing to fix that somehow. So we'll see how it goes. Double crits on Twitter.
Very good, very good. And so, everybody, you've met all of the fantastic people, and oh boy, I knew this was coming. Things are getting chilly, everyone. Alrighty. Everybody, the donation that was just made in chat, for those of you who are watching later, this is a donation for the Wild Hunt, which makes the entire season harder. So we'll get to that, but I was forewarned, and so I am forearmed. Now, with that being said, and as we set the stage here, we are on the coast in the country of Sedaris. And here in Sedaris, there's not shenanigans afoot, as Hawk said is my middle name, but this is political manipulations are afoot. The Empire of Nilfgaard has surged north once again. They have actually succeeded in taking the formerly free city of Novigrad. And in addition to that, Time of Gifts, thank you so much. And in addition to that, they have been trying to vassalize, if that is a word, or an action. They have been trying to make vassals of several of the independent city-states, kingdoms, and kind of principalities along the way, bringing them in, bringing their culture in, folding it into the empire without having to fight them. And Sedaris, being one of the larger nations that requires this type of touch because of the size of their navy, there is an emissary from Nilfgaard meeting with Duke Aglaval, who is in charge of Sedaris. They are in not the palace of Duke Aglaval, but the coastal estate or villa of Duke Aglaval. It's very lush, it's very nice, it's right along the ocean. One of our players, one of their characters, Wim of Gesso, a witcher, had a run-in with Duke Aglaval when the Duke was much younger than his 90 years currently. And with that being said, they were, goodness gracious. And with that being said, he helped to redirect the course of the Duke's life. The Duke had fallen in love with a mermaid. He had found a way to convert that mermaid to a humanoid, gifting her with legs. But to do that required a very, decidedly unpleasant experience. Wim uncovered that unpleasant experience, revealed this machinations to the mermaid herself. She threw off the Duke's advances, cast aside their love, and returned to the sea. Now, at the time of the Duke's death, he has reached out to Wim to broker one last meeting between himself and his lost love in the sea, the mermaid Shanaz. Wim has appeared, has agreed to do so, but no contract has formally been met, as the two parties, Duke Aglaval and Wim, have yet to really talk. It's a long way to go to just say there's an old grudge, there's a way to clear it up, but two people have to agree on how it gets cleared up. The rest of the party, though, has things they need to do. Time is of the essence as the world continues to spin. Events transpire that they do not bear witness to. This is an awoken world. It lives, it breathes with every sunrise and sunset, regardless of whether or not the PCs are in the same city room or country. But I would like to first start with Deucey. Deucey, you, as the narrative stated at the end of last episode, it was Yannick and then you as you were being led out into the balcony. But for a moment, the room behind you is empty, and Robert of Sedaris, the heir to the throne of Duke Aglaval, has just left with your former companion, Ezren. Ezren still carries the family sword that was entrusted to you, but as you stated in last episode, something wasn't right. Deucey, I'm going to give you the opportunity, as you were the last to leave. You do not have to go. There is another door. But should you take that door, and because I had a donation that came in before, I'm not going to allow anybody else to roll awareness to see where you went.
All right. Well, I guess Deuce is going to go in the rabbit hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody else, sit back for a second. JF, as Deucey crosses over and crosses through the area that the audience hall, the solarium of Duke Aglaval, you enter into the door that leads further into the villa. It's not a retracing of your steps back towards the rooms that were given to you. This is you're heading into what you can only think would probably be the Duke's quarters, the Duke's area, his personal private residence. But as you get in, you can see that the hall before you is empty. It's very short, though. It's only 10 feet before it tees right and left. The door slowly moves behind you, and the sun that had been cast through from the solarium vanishes. It's not black. It's lit by candles and torchlight, but there are no windows to grant the sun from the ocean. What do you do, my friend?
Well, he wants to follow after these two. I'll head down to the end of the hall, look left and right, try to see if he spots them.
Roll me an awareness.
All right. There we go. That was it. Let's see.
Ooh.
Yes?
It's a critical, my friend.
Yes!
Deuce is back!
Well, it's just an awareness. Yeah.
Okay, so as you go in, you can hear the footfalls, padded as they are with not travel wear, but actual kind of like house slippers. But you can still hear them. Your Witcher senses are astute and acute, and you move to the right, and you are able to follow down. And just as you round another corner, it opens up kind of wider, this area, and you can see an interior courtyard with a tree lazily blowing here inside. The sun now breaks through a bit. You can see the open blue sky above, and you hear Robert of Sedaris say, "Well, I'll see you soon, Ezren." And you hear a door close. But as you round the corner, you see Ezren standing and staring at this tree, the sword of House Rhilestilen on his back.
Has he seen me? Has he noticed Deucey?
With a critical awareness, you don't believe he has.
Okay. I'll try to sneak up. And the goal here is to unsheath that sword. And I guess start a conversation at some point. So.
Okay.
Should I try to do some stealth here?
Let's do some stealth. And if you could, JF, if you could boost your mic up just a little bit. They're saying you're a little quiet on their end.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That sounds great. Just
Well, I'm closer now.
just can you stay right there? Is that good?
I can just stay here. Just hold the mic, just like like Elvis. That's 16.
Okay, so with a 16, you are able to sneak forward with your earlier awareness kind of allowing you to move in.
Just, tiptoeing. Hunch down like a hunter.
Yeah, you get close, and let's just see,
like the coyote.
You get close, and when you're about 2 steps away, Ezren's head lifts, and slowly the chin turns over the shoulder to look in your direction, but the eyes of Ezren never meet yours, and he simply says, "My dearest friend, what thou do you wish?"
Just you know how we used to play tricks on each other. This is another one of those, right? You remember, right?
I do not.
Why am I not surprised? Why don't you just give me back the sword?
The hand reaches up and pulls it from the sheath over the shoulder. Does not hold it aggressively. This sword?
Yeah. I mean, I'm supposed to save it for its rightful bearer.
What makes you think it isn't me?
A few things. First of all, we let a Doppler come this way a while back. And you don't remember the message you sent me.
With a movement, the sword is slammed into the earth in front of this courtyard with the tree. And as it hits, it kind of wobbles back and forth a bit. And Ezren still holds the hilt. Well, Witchers are always tough. You know you'll never find him.
I don't know about that, and neither do you.
It'll be very difficult.
And how, pray tell, do you know that?
We too have a dream.
Oh, yeah?
It's come true.
In what way? You mean this... in what way?
He simply spreads his arms and hands and looks around at the villa.
Oh. You mean you got a villa? Was that your dream?
You must dream bigger, darling. We got a country.
Uh-huh. You and,
My family.
Oh, I see. People like you who, pretend to be other people?
Who hide because we are hunted. Now we have a place where we can be safe.
I wonder why they hunt you.
They fear themselves, but we will show them when we become them.
You're sick.
I am a survivor.
Pretender. Why don't you show me your true face?
think I will wear this one for some time. I don't think anybody else needs it.
Not if I can help it, buddy.
Need I remind you that I am Ezren? I am royalty. I have been given the ceremony and the pledge of a host to a guest. I am safe within these walls and, quite frankly, this country.
If you were Ezren, that would be a fact. But since you're not, I'm going to do everybody a favor and kill you.
Well, that's not a favor for me. Almost everyone, I guess.
You're all out of favors. You pretended to be the wrong guy.
Roll awareness, JF.
Alright. And Deucey doesn't usually talk this much. This is a breakthrough. It's an 18, a 19.
With that awareness roll, and does that include the +4 that everybody has gifted you with?
Oh, no.
So 23.
No. Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, you notice 3 separate things. 1, a look of, we'll go with concern on Ezren's face. 2, the arrival of the Nilfgaardian ambassador's party through the door that Robert of Sedaris left through. And the third thing you notice with your awareness of 23, there's a bit of a chill in the air here.
An unnatural chill.
It's a little odd for this time of season.
All right.
The Nilfgaardian ambassador, wearing the long robes of state, comes over, high riding boots up below the knee, crosses over and stands beside Ezren, a look of confrontation in the squared shoulders. We will not forget this, Ezren of Rhilestilen. I've already sent word via bird to Novigrad. We will get to the bottom of this. And Ezren just lifts an eye. It's polite enough to the ambassador of Nilfgaard, but you see that the Nilfgaardian ambassador's entire entourage is here. There are 10 armored Nilfgaardian knights, and there seems to be a commander. She has moved forward with her helmet off, and we are going to go with face claim Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead. Look her up. Google her if you don't remember. Diane Franklin.
All right.
But you are effectively in the middle of a political scrum right now.
Yeah, you can see that. And, not being much one for manners, he'll just look at the ambassador and says, he'll just shake his head. Say, he's not the one.
The ambassador turns, notes your sword, Gamarian.
Yes.
What knowledge do you possess of this thorn?
This thorn, you mean Ezren?
When you say Ezren, Ezren smiles. Yes, Ezren.
He's not Ezren. He's pretending to be.
Ezren just lifts eyebrows and looks over, kind of shrugging towards the ambassador. What do you mean? This is an accusation of claiming to be nobility. I would like nothing more to be true.
Well, we live in a world where hippogriffs fly around the mountains, where vampires stalk the night, and where Dopplers masquerade themselves as princes. He says, raising an eyebrow towards Ezren.
We're going to use both of your earlier awareness scores. And I'm going to give this one to you, JF, because you did crit earlier, and I didn't give you enough for that crit.
Oh. Give me more crit.
You see Ezren glance past the ambassador to one of the knights, the Nilfgaardian knights, and with a barely perceptible nod, the helmeted head of the Nilfgaardian knight sort of acknowledges Ezren.
I look at the ambassador. Does the ambassador seem aware of this?
Ambassador missed it. Ambassador's furious. This is that barely controlled political rage that takes years to subdue. But you can tell just by the tenseness in the neck and the shoulders of the ambassador, he is furious with Ezren. Something transpired the moments before you entered the solarium that seems to have, at the very least, off-put the ambassador.
And the other men, do they seem to register anything, or is it just that one?
I will make you roll an awareness roll now. And from your earlier one, you can tell that the captain of the guard, there you go, with the
Does it have your +4?
Says
yeah.
Where'd that voice come from?
26.
So with a 26, you notice that the captain of the guard, she's looking at you as you regard her knights and Ezren. And with a 26, you gain enough of her attention that she begins to turn and look at her own men. You see that about 6 of these guards are watching Ezren very closely. The other 4 seem to be alert, but that kind of polite distance that soldiers that are supposed to be seen and not heard usually maintain and establish. But the other 6 seem into it.
Yeah. I think there's probably more than one in this keep. Said, looking at the ambassador. They may have infiltrated some of your men as well.
The ambassador smirks. My men? Impossible. We are Nilfgaardian, Gemerin. You know that the Empire does not allow infiltration.
Well, they have witchers in the Empire too, don't they? Surely you must have heard stories. I used to be a witcher myself. He says, turning to Ezren, we'd best deal with this now.
Ezren again smiles, and the ambassador is now starting to feel the room. This is somebody that would be very close in abilities to your true Ezren. Someone that can read those around them, can read the air, can read the mood, can adapt to it accordingly. But the ambassador feels something off about this entire situation and begins to look, and the eyes settle on the captain of the guard. She nods and says, "This is folly. I would as soon turn on my countrymen as I would spit on the golden robes of the Imperator during equinox. You know very well, being from the Empire, that the Imperator's robes are white during the equinox.
We have 2 other Witchers inside and a mage. I'm sure they'll confirm everything I'm saying. How many more Witchers do you need?
You see Ezren looking at the Nilfgaardian soldiers. 4 of them seem confused. The 4 that were aloof a moment ago or distant seem to be looking at one another with that look of, should I correct the captain or should I just not? And looks back at the captain of the guard and says, "The robes aren't gold, are they?" You feel the blood of one of the Nilfgaardian knights settle over you as 2 of his presumed brethren drive knives into his exposed throat. You see 2 other knives appear in the throat of one of the other 4 Nilfgaardians as the 6 turn against the 4. The ambassador moves to shriek, but he finds a knife in his own throat, this one at the hands of Ezren. The captain of the guard's eyes meet yours. But we're going to cut away for a second, my friend.
Okay. Oh, boy.
We go back out to a few moments ago because we're allowed to do whatever we want with time here. Yannick, you were the second to last person to be ushered out onto the balcony.
Yes.
I am going to give you a similar situation to what I provided to JF.
Mm-hmm.
As you are walking out, you see a servant's entrance that breaches the hallway from the main quarters to the veranda to the patio.
Mm-hmm.
You see a small face of you would probably think a middle-aged elf. The elf looks at you. "Help."
Well, if it's an elf, I'm gonna go walk over. So.
As you walk over, the door to the patio closes as Ainfra, Eris, and Wim are out on the porch. The wind, air, or the ocean blowing. They do not notice that you are gone, as I spend some of my winds howling that came in over the past 2 weeks. You see an elf there, haggard.
Can I tell why they're haggard? Just a quick glance. Do they look dehydrated? Do they look sleep deprived?
Yes, and probably a little malnutrition as well.
Okay. What's going on?
They brought us here. They paraded us around
Ooh.
like the Sidarans. Please, you must help me escape. My partner is sick. He's slipping away. I need help. I'm too weak to carry him.
What happened? What do you mean they brought you here, paraded you around this star? What exactly happened? And what's he ill with?
We were captured. We were captured in the Blue Mountains, and they brought us here like a circus. They
went into the Blue Mountains?
pulled us out. We are... He is a painter, I am a farmer. We are not fighters.
Yeah, I'm gonna human perception just
sure,
to
yeah,
see
absolutely. Right.
Because she wants to believe him, but she is being cautious because
Right.
everyone's being weirdly cautious in this place. And
Remember your +4, yeah.
yes, 16. So good at empathy.
Well, yeah, but with this, I'll let you know that it seems there's no veil at all on the motions. They're completely unfettered. And it's as if There's, if there was an open book, and I know that Yannika's empathy isn't that great, but this is the most open that you've seen.
Okay.
So you
In a
have very
while, yeah.
little to believe that there's a lie here.
Okay. How many of you are there? How many did they take?
Just me and my partner. That's it. We need help. Paul is dying. He's not going to make it.
Take me to him. Where?
We must be quick, but you must promise me. We cannot make the trek from here to the mountains. You must take us. You must carry us. You promised with the old ways. And he indicates your dress, your heritage.
Mm-hmm. I'm traveling with a mage and 3 witchers. I'm sure we can get a portal to the Blue Mountains.
Oh. Okay. He begins to move away, and you can already tell that,
I at least won't do my best not to let your partner die.
You can see that just as weak as he is able to move quickly. He keeps ahead of you and even kind of like scoots around hallways. This is the winding kind of inner corridors of a servant's area. So it's very dark, not to allow any light to spill out into the noble area. And so as you're winding through here, you don't see any of the other support staff, but you can tell that there's an ample amount of dust here, as well, as if perhaps these hallways aren't used, at least not too frequently.
She'll do her best to remember the way back.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It's not that bad. It's like a right, 2 lefts, and a right, so
and she'll even make a line in the dust on the smudge some dirt on the walls, just so she can have a double check her way back.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. This place doesn't seem, nothing's finished. There's no paint on the walls. It's not, this is very utilitarian. But as you kind of get through and get to an area, you see light spill in ahead as the elf opens up a door and ushers you this way. He's here. And there's this light spilling in from the door ahead. What do you do, Lindy?
I'll go in front. I'll have a hand behind my back, near where I keep my blade, just in case there's something unwanted down here. But it's also close to her medical bag in case, it's kind of halfway between stab or heal. And she'll proceed forward.
Okay. When you round and kind of see where the light is spilling from, the elf has already moved about 10 paces off, and you have gone from the utilitarian hallways and kind of service corridors to the lush noble's quarters. This must be the private quarters of Duke Aglaval. There is a thick carpet here, even in this marine type of environment. There is a thick carpet. There, you can't even hear the wind. You can't smell the salt air. This area is, in all likelihood, sealed and insulated beyond a lot of what you are used to, especially being an elf, especially living in nature as you do. This is, I don't want to say highfalutin, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, Lindy. I'm going to say highfalutin.
It's highfalutin?
It's highfalutin. So,
she definitely takes she almost pinches herself. This is not what she was expecting to find. This is not where she was expecting to end up.
Right. So
she was expecting dungeon, maybe,
Right. So he kind of waves from further down the hall. You can see that there are no servants, but he continually looks around to make sure that, he stops and listens, but always runs ahead, kind of, in a way he could probably be here, but your presence would be harder to explain. So you can kind of think that he's maybe running scout a little bit on this.
Yeah.
But never getting out of eyesight.
Just keep up.
Yep. And as he reaches an area, you see him open another door, but this one seems to have more of a utilitarian nature to it. And it opens into a wide wine cellar. And he begins padding onto the tiles. This isn't a subterranean wine cellar. This is taking advantage of the insulation that I spoke of earlier. This is a very dark area. There are a few candles that are lit, hooded, but you see him pad off onto these like mosaics of tiled floor and the racks of wine. And he disappears around the corner.
Okay.
What do you do?
She'll think to herself, this is not where I was expecting it to go, but she remembers the way back. She's been leaving little marks. So she will follow. Again, hand maybe a little closer to her knife now that we're in the nicer part of the house.
So you get around the corner and you realize that the elf has padded away, but you hear his voice creep back. The Duke and his family have forgotten about us. They won't know or care that we've gone, at least not until they need to hold a page in their book or need a prop for a story to entertain guests.
The Duke was very ill, and now he's not. At least that's what I've heard. Do you know anything about that?
No. Duke Tommen is an evil man. I would have nothing to do with him. It's this way.
All right.
And you see light spilling through a room that seems to be internal to this wine cellar, almost as if this were the hole of a donut, inside the donut being the wine cellar. But there is a door open and a little bit more light spills from it. And you hear the voice again. We're in here.
All right, I'm coming.
There's no one in the room. And you hear the voice. Just beneath the bottle from the Tofa vineyard from Toussaint. And you see a bottle of very fine wine sitting upon what looks to be a basket.
I think she takes a second and just rubs her temples and just is like, fuck.
You are the only one that has hurt us. We are stuck here. You must help us according to the old ways you promised.
How long have you been here?
Too long.
Shit. She'll shakily go over to the wine bottle.
You move the red from the Tufa vineyards, and there is a lid on the basket. Do you open it?
She'll pick up the basket first, examine it, and then she'll open it.
The basket is simply wicker. It doesn't appear to have anything tying it down, and it's very Spartan in its decoration. No ribbons adorn it or are woven through the reeds. There's something inside, though. You can feel it shift when you pick it up.
I'll just stick my hand in it.
You feel something smooth.
Pull it out.
It's a skull. You have me.
All right.
Now get Paul. He is in there too.
Wonderful. Just puts it in a pocket. Reaches in again.
There's
Is there a second skull?
There's a second skull.
I think she shifts hands and then feels around to make sure there's no more skulls in there.
It's empty.
Okay. All right. What's your name?
My name is Lark.
All right, Lark. I've got you and Paul. And I'm gonna take you out of here.
Tell me something.
something.
Do the lands still stand?
Which lands specifically?
Our homeland. In the valley.
Well, there's the Blue Mountains, and there's the Dolblathana. I wouldn't count on Dolblathana, though.
But the valley, the lands we were given.
Near Rhilestilen?
Yes. Between there and the Blue Mountains.
Not currently, but some people are trying to get it back and make it work.
Is Prince Ezren still alive?
That one is yes. I know fairly certain about that one. Mostly certain about that one. Most people, the rest of my group would probably say yes. I'm pretty sure.
Then there is hope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Okay.
How can you hear us?
I hear things a lot.
It's a miracle then.
Alright, I'm gonna put you in my bag now. It's just...
Thank you.
It's okay. Shh. And I think she kind of just pats herself over. Okay, I've got a pocket full of skulls. This is normal. This is fine. And she goes back to try to retrace her steps quickly and meet back up with the group.
When you turn around and enter into the wine cellar, you see a silhouette standing in front of the door that you entered from the hallway.
Shit.
Silhouette is wearing robes, and the hood is up. Who is in here?
Do I recognize the voice at all?
You do not.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was someone we'd already met in this castle. She go, yeah, excuse me, I got lost. I was looking for the, I guess you guys call it a bucket room or water closet or something. I don't, from the mountains. I'm here with the Witchers.
Roll me
And that
deception.
mage.
Roll me a deception, yeah.
I'd love to. I'd love to, Greg. It's gonna only go. I'm gonna spend a little luck on this. You know what? I'm gonna spend 2 points of luck on this deception check.
Good.
Okay. Oh, it's 20. It's actually really good for me.
And does that have your 4 plus 4 in it as well?
Oh yes, that has everything added
Okay.
to it.
The robed silhouette moves so the door is exposed a bit more, but still stands within its frame. What is your name?
She squints at it, checking its shadow. Like, I merely hope this isn't another ghost. Yannick.
Where are you from, Yannick?
Blue Mountains. I mean, I'm not exactly from civilization, as most humans would call it. Just gestures to her appearance.
The figure steps aside and gestures sweepingly. I believe your destiny awaits, Yannick of the Blue Mountains.
That's a weird way to phrase that. Okay. And as she walks by, she wants to try to accidentally like brush against the robes. Maybe not even accidentally, just like, oh, it's a narrow doorway. Just brush against it to see if she can touch it, if it's tangible.
Yeah, no roll needed. Yeah, if you want to brush against,
Okay.
you can do so. And you feel that
Okay.
the robes are almost like they're starched. They feel
Ugh,
like
crunchy.
crunchy, like stiff. Yeah.
Gross. Too much starch. And she'll look up into the under the hood because she's short. She's got that viewpoint. See if she can see the face as she passes by.
It's very dark, but roll me an awareness and we'll see what we get.
I'd love to do that, Greg. Let's 24.
When you look up into the hood, for a moment you can swear that you see yourself as if reflected back in a mirror.
Okay.
Your destiny awaits.
Great. Do you think you could guide me back to where my friends are at?
Oh, darling, I fear that I am here not to help this time. And person reaches up and pulls down the hood, and you see Gauntero Dim.
Oh, you. What's at the hood? It's weird.
Well,
Real crunchy. Should use less starch.
I didn't want to give you hope. You see, you have about 100 steps left. We're going to cut back to the other group. Hi, other group. Okay, so let us reset the scene as we spin back a few minutes. Deucey and Yannick are gone. Eris, Ainfra, Wim, you are being led out onto a beautiful patio overlooking the ocean. This is the top of that fan that we mentioned in the last episode that seems to always hold an element of the tide. This was a construction that Duke Aglaval brought together to have as much time with his mermaid love when she had a tail as was allowed by man, nature, and of course gravity. You are standing at the top of this. There are trays and tables of food that are laden with drink, with ale, with lime in it. Everything you could possibly like this fine, beautiful day, even though it's a bit chill. Something seems to be cutting from west to east across the river, or across the water, I should say. But with servants kind of redirecting Eris and Ainfra, Wim, you are taken to the far edge, about 25 yards away from your brother and the wizard, to Duke Aglaval and his guards. Did you talk to her? Is she going to see me?
Well, yeah, barring a couple conditions, but she's there, or will be, once I give her the signal.
Well, your payment with her. And he kind of snaps his palsied, liver-spotted fingers, and it's a surprisingly powerful snap that comes out of the thin digits, and several servants come forward laden with long oak boxes. These are boxes that would probably be used to house musical instruments at one point, perhaps a small harp or even a flute. They are velvet lined, and as each of the three servants walk up, they open each of the boxes, revealing a helm, a gauntlet, and in the last one, a very small painting.
What's the small painting?
The small painting is of the ocean, and there's a figure down by the water.
Can I make out the figure on the painting?
Roll me an awareness.
Okay. Alrighty. $27.
Takes you a bit because this is a rendering, this isn't a photograph. And it requires some imagination on your part. But as you look and as you see this figure twirling on a white sand beach, you realize that it is Tears.
Huh. Who's that figure there on the beach?
That has been in my family for generations. It is the rendering of the Mistress of the Sea.
Is there a story associated with it?
Mistress of the Sea is the one that walked the border between the two worlds, the beach, where tide meets land. It was her kingdom. She ruled there. That is Sidaris. We are the beach.
Beautiful work. What of the helmet and the gauntlet?
The helm is from Skellige. During our last great war with those beasts, we took it from their chieftain. It is said to possess a bit of their wild magics.
You know what kind of wild magics?
No, I dare not put something like that on. It stinks of Skellige.
They sure do know how to fight, though, so they got something going for them.
He sort of rolls his eyes.
What of the gauntlet?
It was brought by my great-grandsire from east of the Blue Mountains, from a land unknown.
It's just one.
Just one.
And what's it do?
It increases the strength of your sword arm.
Wow. Fascinating how this stuff comes about. You get it imbued with stuff from a smith?
I wouldn't know. These are things that we have earned from battle, parley, negotiation.
Yeah.
This is Sidaris. And he points to the treasures. One of them is yours. If I can see her.
Right. But I imagine with our extremely friendly history, we've got some catching up to do before we do the deed. Is that fair?
I would prefer to see her.
And being as that rests in my power, I prefer to talk about some stuff. As it is not a breach of our negotiations.
What will we talk about?
Well, first, you look pretty good, so there's a compliment there. I don't know what kind of grapes they got you eating out here, but I thought you were gonna.
It's the sea air.
Yeah, I heard somebody that you asked someone to get you bone knit. I'm like, if you need bone knit, you must be in serious condition, you know. So,
Insurance.
glad to see you're doing well. What is it that ailed you in the first place, if you don't mind me asking?
90 winters.
And then you were down, and then you're back up and right as rain. That's crazy. Oh, man. And, you know, for as many times as you tried to kill me, it was, made life exciting, that's for sure. Do you take a lot of pleasure in that, or?
We must discuss the past then.
I mean, while we're here, you know, you don't know how many winters you got left, right?
Right. So it doesn't matter what I say. Did I take pleasure from trying to kill you? No. Why would I? Revenge is seldom gratifying if it is not fulfilled.
What? Yeah, but like, you, why? Right? You've an educated man with a storied upbringing, resources at your disposal. So surely you've heard several stories about love, right? How it works. And then all of the sacred entities of love, you fuck right off. And then shit goes south, and you're looking for somebody to take it out on, right? Is that it?
Are you attempting to rewrite history? I had my true love, and you and your fucking friend decide to show up, decide to adopt nobility in a profession that seldom shows it. You cost me a life. I thought it only fair to return the favor.
Oh, I disagree, Sir Duke. You cost you a life. Perhaps if you had the balls, I will say, to love someone that looks different than you, it is not impossible. Take a couple more visits down to the beach, maybe build a hut a little closer to the shore, right? And you wanted to kill me over that? I just wanted you to see your errors.
What do they say in Temeria? You cannot teach an old hound new tricks.
Well, maybe some say that, but that's just what the shitty dogmasters say. You're good enough with animals, you can teach them whatever, whenever. But if you're used to whipping them all the time, of course they're not going to learn.
Yes, kindness to animals.
Understand the dog. Maybe understand love. You could have had things your way a while ago. And I'd trade all three of those treasures for you to have made that choice. But you did not, and here we are.
Yes. Here we are. So, where is she?
But one more question. Where is he?
Where is who?
The Duke.
What are you talking about? I am the Duke. You know this. Do not try to confuse an old man. My mind is still sharp.
I never doubted that for a second. But you don't need bone it for something that you can naturally recover from. Seeing as one of my trusted friends just showed up, I'm thinking that there's a little more to meet the eye to this whole situation. Where is he?
We're
away from
who?
everyone. Where is the Duke? You've got no one to impress, it's just me. Don't want the bullshit, right? I can tell you honestly, straight to your face. I don't care what your motives are. Where's the Duke?
His thin, palsied, liver-spotted fingers and hands, the right one reaches up towards your face. What do you do?
Whoa, what are you doing there?
Are you scared of an old man?
If you're not the Duke, you're capable of a lot more. And you might not be an old man. So whatever magics you might have in store, please let me know first. We're developing a relationship of honesty here.
Are we? Very well. Hold out your medallion, Witcher.
Yeah? Next?
He reaches up and touches it. Shouldn't I be burning now?
Well, you've at least got to know that there's something up here. You say you're sharp, right?
Very.
So how is it someone who disappeared a long time ago, according to the records, can show up and begin to barter negotiations, is it? Whatever sort of politic is going on here.
The years are simply sentences in a story.
Oh, he's a human, ain't he? What's
Stranger,
the average lifespan of a human?
stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
So, may I ask my own question? If you
Sound
don't
fair?
mind. You said it was possible to teach and understand animals. Here's a lesson for you, beast. I know everything that is going on in my kingdom. Are you a king?
Do I look like a king?
You do not.
Do I talk like a king?
Good beast. You're beginning to learn.
I am not a king. So you can continue looking down at me like that. It's fine. Not the first time it's happened. But you have to admit that you asked me here. You need me to fulfill love's last wish, is it? So, even a mighty king, stature can crumble when he needs something. So, kind of makes us on the same plane here. So you can drop this whole thing. And you can follow me down here.
Now we are getting somewhere. Where is she?
If you follow me, I'll show you. Bring your guards if you like, but I'd rather it just be you. Shitty as this relationship was, it was still a relationship. I don't have many of those.
Very well. Lead on.
You gonna bring the guards as well?
Are you contemplating regicide?
That would be stupid. Just open conversation. You can have them at there if you want, but I just want to know.
No, I will leave them here with your friends, if that is okay with you.
It's fine with me.
Then let us go.
And when we'll start in the direction of the what's the name of the what you called it?
The fan?
Yeah.
Yep. Let me see. I can give you the exact name for it. I came up with something about it. What was it? I should have these listed better. We'll go with fan. I can't remember what it was. It was the sunset fan. Is that what I put down? Something like that.
I'll bring all the things down and return whichever one I choose, whichever ones I don't choose to you upon your meeting. Hell, I'll even help you carry him back up.
The servants will carry him.
Okay. And then he'll make his way towards the sunset fan, sunshine.
That's
fan.
it. Yeah, yep. There we go. Nailed it. It's been weeks. I can't remember. I'll find it. I just can't. Okay, so yeah, you're able to take that down, and as you're beginning to walk down there, I will cut back to our patio very quickly to see what Ainfra and Eris are doing as we retweet. Jesus, I just saw Lenny's post. We restep a few spins to see, and a few seconds to see where Eris and Ainfra are. You are surrounded again by the aforementioned food. You see that there is a presentation of gifts transpiring 25 yards away between Wim and Duke Aglaval. You can see that they are locked in conversation that the wind is preventing you from listening to. You could almost say the wind's howling a bit, and there is a chill in the air. It seems to be getting stronger.
Ainfra would kind of do that subtle thing that you do at high-level gatherings where you kind of slightly offer your hand, that kind of nudge of like, offer your arm so I can rest on it, and walk towards the balcony with you, Eris, for a moment, without saying anything, but kind of expecting Eris to recognize it, at least the motions that you would have seen.
Eris, 100% will very elegantly take your arm and guide the two of us over towards the balcony, slightly sort of diagonally away from Wim and the Duke, giving them a moment of peace and privacy. And as he goes, you said there was like food around?
A ton of food, yeah. Food. There's ale with lime in it. We are at the beach, of course, and so
I you know what? They won't shut up about it. I might as well try it. I try a ale with lime. I walk on over.
Ainfra will carry a glass in her hand and look like she's sipping, but Eris is close enough to notice she's not drinking anything out of it. That wasn't Ezren. And I have slight concerns about the Duke as well. You couldn't have killed him then. What were you going to do? Declare a guy who has diplomatic immunity and protected under guest rights a Doppler? It's too public.
Why is nothing ever fucking simple with my brother?
Simple? A lot of shit is simple. I'm taking you north in about, as soon as your brother comes back from talking to this false Duke and his false love.
What's his name? The posh boy.
Who?
You know, the posh boy, the one who met with you, the one I told you had a doctor in his guard.
Robert.
Shapeshifter.
His name is Robert.
Yeah, Robert. Had a word with him in private. Did a quick hands-on test. No adverse reaction to silver, so as if the chance is him. Said he
Right.
found one of them, the one that had infiltrated his number. Also said it was real easy for him to identify as if the guy made a load of mistakes. Doesn't sound like many doctors I know.
Yeah, I don't usually have that. Identification is a little harder. But I think part of it may have been some other things. And false Ezren doesn't think I suspected him, so he's quite content at the moment. We have Nilfgaard here as well. Let's get in and get gone. We can't stay long.
Well, as long as we're agreed and no one does anything rash, we're in and out.
And then she'll just kind of like pan, she'll turn and kind of like pan around and notice that people aren't there.
He will you're not doing that, are you?
Doing what?
That, he says, flicking his eyes skyward for a moment.
No, I'm not.
Because, well, Deucey mentioned some stuff before we left. Said you'd been a little uneasy.
Deucey said he saw him.
Saw who?
Who would I care about, Eris?
You know, I'm trying not to jump to conclusions here, assuming that maybe you care about more than one person.
I do. But everyone else here I care about is currently within, well, was within sight when we walked into this building.
Yeah, I've noticed. But, my question still stands. Who?
Ezekon.
He's not the only one. He reckons he's seen him.
So I may have been a moment of rashness that I overcame. And decided we needed more information.
I don't know what you're going through. I don't pretend. Even if I'd been through it, I doubt I'd react the same way. Kind of opposite sides of the spectrum. But even I know that anyone who's in any way remotely balanced doesn't deal with something like that in a moment. It isn't resolved, it isn't put away. Just because you had a moment where you almost lost control, that doesn't mean it's not going to rear its head down the line. Just don't.
Eris, you're a witcher, right? And they lie and say they remove all form of empathy from you. You can't feel any emotions. It's bullshit. We both know it's bullshit. Anger
They don't exactly. They don't exactly instill a lot of love in us.
No.
So, when we do find some semblance, some scrap of that love that was torn away, it's something it's not something worth dying.
No. It's never about worth dying for. That's why I'm still alive.
Don't do anything that would jeopardize that. That would jeopardize yourself.
Eris, I made a promise at a funeral. I'm not
Do
sure
you know how many
yet.
promises I've broken over the years?
I don't break promises, Eris, because I don't make them. I can't afford to. I could be ordered across the continent, across to Skellige, to Nilfgaard, to Vicavaro. Making promises doesn't work. So when I say I made a promise, I'm going to keep it. You all will survive. I am not chasing death. And
No.
when you are able to help me kill her, I will crush her heart, frozen as it is, under my heel. So, I respect your concern. I appreciate your concern. But I won't lose control in that manner, because then you would have to kill me. And I'm not going to make you have to do that.
Travel with a lot of people who kill monsters for a living. Try not to end up as one of them.
We're born that.
No, we're born as people. Men make us monsters. So, are we getting fucking paid?
Here? Probably not. We're just hoping for not dead.
The two of you roll an awareness for me.
$26. For some reason, it's whispering rolls. I'll turn that off. There we go.
27. That's with my plus.
Gotcha. So this is Eris catching something and Ainfra catching it a beat later, just a second later, just a scan later. You don't see a storm approaching from the west out to sea. You don't see dark clouds. You don't see anything that seems to speak or hint at nature's fury in the sky. You see down by the waves a roll of pure white fog. And even from this distance, over the crashing of the waves down along the beach where your brother and Duke Aglaval are now wading in the water a bit, even from this distance, both of you, elevated, carried by the sea breeze, you can hear the crack of ice. It is distant, as if heard inside a village of an ancient oak giving way and sundering to the swell of frozen water.
Greg?
Yes?
Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Is there any kind of check I might be able to make to recognize?
Yeah, can I roll magical training here?
You can roll magical training, Ainfra, and because we have a School of the Viper Witcher, you may roll me some Witcher training, Eris, and unfortunately, I will have to weigh the DC separately, as the School of the Viper has a certain speciality.
28. I mean, I know ice. I know ice.
You know ice real well, right? Oh, you know ice, right?
I was gonna spend some luck, but honestly, I feel I might need to save my luck. That's a
Sure.
That's a 27. That's about as high as I can get.
Okay. So this is the moment of realization from the mage, basically at the exact same time as the Witcher. This, as you look over, it's something you both have read about. It isn't something I don't believe you have witnessed over the ocean before. If you have, I stand corrected. But this is almost a perfect depiction of a painting that rests in the halls of Aretuza. And it's called The Birth of the Wild Hunt.
It's a really nice painting.
Can we move, or are you about to steal the spotlight away from us?
I'm going to steal it.
Fair enough.
So we're going to go...
You're a bad friend.
We're going to go to, as the camera peels around, we see Deucey standing in the middle of a Roman-esque assassination as the ambassador to Nilfgaard drops, as these 4 Nilfgaardian knights drop, as this spray of blood still hangs in the air. Deucey, I'm assuming, is moving and acting in all of this. JF, what would be Deucey's first reaction as this
I think he
widespread?
started by wiping the blood off his face, casually, just so it doesn't get in the way. And he'll pull his sword free of the hide that's wrapped around it, the Gamerian sword, and bring it up to bear in a high guard and set it aflame and begin to let loose. Yeah.
Okay, so as Deucey pulls up the sword, much like the fantastic artwork from Anna, it erupts into flame as it goes up. It's nearly 6 foot length. And as Deucey's face is kind of lit by the now organic flames that are going up, even with the magical heat as close as it is, frosty breath escapes from Deucey's mouth and hangs there for a moment as the air becomes bitter even here in the courtyard. And as we throw the camera over at this exact moment in time, Yannick, you see that Gontaro Dim, the Mirror Master, pulls his hood back up, looks down at your feet and says, "Make them count. You only have 100 left." And he begins to walk into the wine cellar.
Right, okay. And look around. It's getting cold. That's not exactly normal. It's well more than 100 paces the way she came up here, I'm assuming.
It is.
Yes. And she doesn't know where the fuck she is. So, but do we pass any windows on the way into the wine cellar, like to this area?
You would assume that there has to be some. Now, you didn't go in every room, but the hall that you passed through with the thick carpet, all of that was sealed to the point where you couldn't see any light. So
okay.
Now, there may very well be windows, but you didn't open any of the presumably exterior rooms that would have a window or potentially have a window.
Okay. Seeing as how this dude pretty much means what he says as far as she knows, she's gonna take large steps.
Sure.
For one. She's gonna take enough to get out of the wine cellar.
Okay.
Actually, she'll look over her shoulder and see if he's still there, if he's disappeared in the wine cellar.
You don't see him per se, but you see his reflection in every bottle as it seems to be walking into the bottle.
She immediately closes her eyes and turns around. Nope, not today. Nope, don't eat that. And she'll take a big step out and look around for a window or, a nice fire escape map. you know.
I will tell you this: the door closest to the wine cellar door is 10 paces back the way that you came on the left.
Okay. Yeah, she'll spin those 10 paces.
Okay.
And open the door and just look inside.
You open the door and you see an open window that is facing the ocean. You see that the curtains billow and kind of blow in. They are an off-white, almost a net-like quality to them. And as they blow back, your breath escapes and blows back the way that you came, as it too holds a frozen quality. But that's where we leave Yannicka right now.
That's great.
As
Fantastic.
we go down to the water's edge, as Aglaval has waded out to his waist. Wim, no need for a roll here. It is cold. You can see your breath. But you are at the sea line. You do not have the elevation that your brother and Ainfra have anymore. You are down here at sea level. You see the waves. You see him wading out, and he starts to splash back and forth. Where is she?
Wim will whistle. Whatever that wolf whistle may sound like, not the one that he uses to summon his brother, but the one that he would signal the Shinaz with.
Almost immediately, you see a dot out in the bay, maybe 300 yards away. And the old man doesn't see. Where is she?
She's coming.
And
Trying
then
to make sure it was safe first.
A small wave hits him and almost knocks him over, wetting the loose robes that he wears from about chest level down. And you can see now just how thin the man really is whenever like the gathered cloth collects against him. Here she comes.
When we'll go to Aglaval's side and put a firm hand between his shoulder blades. Wash out there. I got you. She's coming.
Back with you.
Stay.
I am the ruler of Sedaris. The mistress of the sea watches me. And he takes a couple steps away from your hand as he's moving further into the water, almost like an intercept course.
Everybody shits, old man.
He's up to, like, you can see it hitting the stubble on his chin. And without looking back at you, he can see her kind of diving and kind of dolphining in and out of the water. And he says, do you know she has a friend, Shinaz, that protects her?
Who?
You see in the distance, Shinaz goes bolt upright and floats about 50 yards away. She seems to bob. Roll me an awareness check.
Oh. Two.
Even from this distance, your sharp witcher sight cuts across the water, the 50 yards to the mermaid, and you see red motes coming away from her eyes. And
Dude. Go ahead.
Aglaval points with that same thin, palsied, bony, liver-spotted hand beyond as the water erupts just behind Shinaz. You see a huge head, perhaps the head as tall as you are, with one great eye in the forehead. And when that eye opens, dots of red motes go from either side of it.
The meeting has to be postponed. Back with me, now.
Aglaval turns, the water now up over his mouth, and he smiles and says, your turn now, dog, and dives beneath the waves. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will take our break. We'll be back in a few short moments as we play our 20th episode of Family of Wraiths. See you in just a few, my friends, as the The wild hunt begins. Oh, yeah, let's do it. Be right back. Okay, everybody, welcome back to The Witcher here on Wednesday nights with Tales from the Grim. We are getting ready to figure out what's going on, so let me pop up our Roll20 map just above here so you can see all of the lovely things I can see. We bring this over a little bit so everyone can gander at the loveliness that is Roll20. Alrighty, so let me pull this back up. All right, Deucey, you can see that as these Nilfgaardian knights murder their kin, or at least it looks like their kin, you find yourself enveloped with the captain of the guard. She did not willingly join you, but she is forced to your back, to your side. Her own blade is drawn against her own men as they seem to be advancing on both of you. What would you like to do, my friend? As you mentioned before, you had pulled your blade out, you had prepared yourself for battle, but what do you do?
Yeah. Well, Deuce is a Griffin Witcher. He's been trained to fight multiple opponents, so this is kind of a thrill for him. Let's say it's a thrill. He's been holding. I don't know what happened here. I think part of Deuce wanted to believe that Ezren was Ezren, and that's why this lasted so long. But at this point, he's just letting go of that. He'll give rise to his fury and do two things. First thing, he's going to get an active shield going around him and the captain to give him some kind of chance here. So he'll do that, summoning earth magic to shield them both. And the second is he's going to get his sword going in broad, large, sweeping movements, the type of combat that Zweihanders do when they're faced with a bunch of people. He's going to try to come down with a slash at the first one that comes in.
And they do. Your range is very long with the 6-foot blade that you have. So you are able to get the first one that kind of crosses that threshold of engagement as the Quen fires up and kind of lances around both you and the captain of the guard. She looks down and realizes, kind of feels that pressure of added, looks at you for a moment, almost unsure of who she should be attacking, but then you feel her back against yours.
Okay, so I'm going to put in that Quen, in that actual active shield, I'm going to put, let's see, I'm going to put 4 stamina.
Okay, and what's that give you, what's that strength does that make the shield?
40 hit points.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So he'll use some of his stamina to do that, and he will go ahead and slash at the first one that comes in there.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Gamera. Oh no, that's the wrong sword. Sorry. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong sword. This one.
Okay, roll me to hit. And
the swordsmanship, sorry.
Yep. I will tell you this, though. We will take that 24 damage that you rolled initially because it was better. And then we'll...
It's good to me. He's going to make it 2 fast, tantalizing strikes.
Gotcha.
A lot of mods here. Okay. That is... Oh, a fumble. Shit. It says 26 and 22. Should I roll? I'll roll the fumble.
Roll the fumble. The first dodge is a 20, so it does. They're able to dodge out of the way, but the second one is going to be a hit. We will take that 24 damage that you applied as it. Let's see exactly where it hits. Why don't you roll me a target location for where your strike actually fell?
Okay. Ooh, that's the torso.
So you
thrust there or slash.
Yeah, you feel the heavy Nilfgaardian breastplate hold most of the slash that you give, but just almost at the last minute when you're kind of fulfilling the rest of your strike, the top foot of the blade slips between two of the plates, and as you extend and drive it and slide it around, that last bit of metallic length is dripping with blood as you see the knight kind of grab at his side, but as he grabs at his side, you realize that your medallion is humming.
Look around to see if he sees any mages.
For a moment, you see the Nilfgaardian's features fluctuate a bit, kind of slide and shift, and then...
Understood. Not a moment too soon, medallion. And I think that's going to be it for Deucey this round. He's going to try to stick with his captain here.
As you finish your spin, the captain spins around behind you, following your trailing shoulder with her lead shoulder, and she drives...
Stay close to me, he'll say.
She glances over her shoulder, and you see her eyes. They're maybe a foot apart, the two of your eyes, pairs of eyes, and she meets yours with a hint of irritation as you see her strike with her fine blade in the exact spot that you hit before. You see her drive it through, and as I have pre-rolled damage for this particular captain's guard, you see this Doppler fall to knees, and then you see it look up and its features turn into a gray as it falls over in the armor rattling. This isn't something that the Doppler turned into. This armor was legitimate armor. And as it turns, you notice that certain segments of the armor, though, disappear. The breastplate remains, but the chain underneath it is not there. And as the Doppler hits, you see Ezren pull out what looks like a vial, uncork it, light an end of a piece of reed sticking out of it, and throw it onto the Doppler, who immediately bursts into flame. And she spins, the captain of the guard spins back around, her back still pressed up against you, as they all drop into attack. One of them, however, is gone. So let me switch back over. We will go through them real quick. They are going to drop equally. Well, they're going to drop 3 attacks on you and 2 attacks on her. First one is 18. Second one is a critical of 24.
Yeah.
And the third one is a 19. So I need you to roll me 3 defenses as these come in, spending extra stamina for each one above the original one that you use.
Gotcha. Yes. All right. So he's going to try to dodge the first one. And where's my dodge here? Jesus. Oh, there it is. Gotcha. Right. That's the first one.
Dodge it, you do.
All right. Yeah, he's dancing around. He's going to go dodge the second one as well. Pull back. Just... It's about to hit.
Goes to the defender. You dodge that one as well, which is a critical. Have you been adding your +4 to these?
No.
Okay, so I have to roll less than a 4 here on this critical to see if it hits. Misses by 1. As you are able to dodge and dodge again as these strikes are coming in from everywhere. The last one rolled was a 19. What do you do, Deucey?
Well, is there one more to
one more to dodge,
more?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's on a roll. He's going to keep dodging, keep dancing. I'm sure he's trained for this at Kari Soren, this kind of thing. I'm sure they have some weird machine there that...
Hell yeah!
Critical. Yeah, baby.
Okay, right. So as you dodge with a 31, which is way more than what the attack was.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a counterattack here.
Oh, nice. I'm just gonna say he's in the zone. He's very, very angry. Cold fury. Counterattack. He's gonna thrust his blade. He's gonna half sword his blade, and thrust it into that the Doppler's chest. Let's see here. Let's make that. Ooh.
Oh, 32
damage. Damn it.
I'll keep it. Just go ahead and roll that.
Yeah. Yes. We're going to make this one strong. Hopefully. It's a 23.
Nice. And because this is a counterattack, the base DC is 10. So you are going to hit with a critical on this.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's a
so
thrust right there, right here.
Are you, if you're calling the shot for target, or you can let it roll, or you can see if you get something else. You can roll target, or you can tell me it's torso. You hit by way too much. Okay, so you drive this in.
Yeah.
Roll me
because
a 2.
The idea is to spear it, like to drive it in, like you say, and then he's going to lift him up and toss him on the others. That's going to be next round.
Okay, absolutely. So go ahead and roll me a 2d12. Or, I'm sorry, 2d6. What am I thinking?
That's 4.
Okay, so with a 4, you drive this, as you grip up, it goes right into the torso and pops out around the shoulder region. As you extract the blade,
not extracting it.
You're not extracting. Oh, that's right. You're going to leave it.
I want to take him with me, and then hurl him on somebody else.
As soon as you begin to move, the blade kind of peeks out around the breastplate, and you see one of the arms of this creature drop to the ground, no longer looking anywhere near human. It begins to have that gray flesh immediately take control over its hue. As we're going to have pre-rolled attacks, and the captain of the guard misses one, attacks with another, and draws a line of blood along the neck of one of the creatures. But it's back to the top of the round, Deucey, as you have one that you basically have kebabbed. What would you like to do?
Kebabbed. I got it right in front of me, so he's kind of a human shield at this point. And I'm going to charge another and try to get another one on this kebab. Since it's a 6-foot sword, I think I can fit about 3 of them. I mean, it's going to get heavy, but let's try the second one.
It sounds good. I will allow you to just go ahead and roll me a swordsmanship attack.
Because I like this move so much, I'm going to put some luck into this one.
Okay.
So I got luck. I'm going to put 4 luck into it, and then swordsmanship, which we're talking, I guess I'll go for a strong strike since I'm putting luck here. He's angry. Oh, 27. Why is that archery?
I don't know. That's archery. I'm sure you're.
Hell?
I'm sure you're.
I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry. There, 23. Why is it do archery again? Oh, I know why.
Third time's the charm. We got it.
Oh no!
No, you know what?
I got 4 luck. We got +4 with the silver.
And
then 4 luck.
Okay, so that's 27. Roll me your crit fumble to see where that turns out.
Oh yeah, and then there's
so you're at 23. I'm gonna have them go ahead and roll a dodge escape. Yeah, that's not going to work. As you beat them by 9, roll me your damage, and then roll me another 2d6, please.
All right. That's the damage. That's 21 and 6.6. Yeah.
Okay. So, with a 6, let's see, that would be on that one. You do go in and you can hear that audible wet snap of ribs as your second blade kebabs both of these. The first one that you impaled expires. You can see it slump over. Over your shoulder, you see Ezren move and enter into a room, backing away, seeing this fight going decidedly differently than maybe his mind had envisioned it. With these two, the one that's the last part of the kebab is still alive, but hurt very badly. That was your... is there anything else you'd like to do, my friend?
Well, then at this point, set them a flame and charge the rest, using them as a battering ram.
Okay. I want you to roll me intimidation here.
Right. Intimidation. He's good. He's. I think he's got pluses on account of being a Gamerian.
You do. You have something. It's like
+2.
+5 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah. Oh man. So that's 12 plus the 4, 16. Oh wait, I didn't do the fumble.
So it's 12?
12. Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here. They receive a critical, so they all hold their ground, but you are able to charge into them. We're going to say that
The roar.
the other one expired. You got one on the... this one, we're going to move him over here as he's part of the battering ram now.
Yeah.
And the captain of the guard has moved from your back to your shoulder as she's running beside, screaming as you are just plowing through all of these people. And as you hit the second one, you see her leap into the air, actually using your leg as like a bit of a spring as she jumps up and brings her sword down in a pre-rolled critical that she strikes onto the one that's on the end of your sword, ending its life. So you have 3 down between the two of you as we leave you for right now, my friend, as you turn and they get ready to counterattack, and we will go over somewhere else. Hi, Yannick.
Hi, Greg.
90 steps. There's a window in front of you.
And you said it overlooks the ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
You
Yannick would know.
you can't see anything, but you can see the ocean in the distance. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. And the balcony that everyone was being led out towards was oceanside, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. That'll give her a good picture of how, because she doesn't have time to walk through this whole castle, so she will. You said it's 10 steps away to the window?
It is.
All right, 80 steps. I'm at the window. What do I see?
You see that this is a portion of the villa that is extended over the cliff. When you look down, you see a 80, 100-foot drop to the water and the beach. Roll me an awareness and I'll tell you what else you see.
Wonderful. I
Sure,
would
sure.
love to do that for you, Greg. How about a 21?
With a 21, you can see that there's some type of marine layer coming in. You see that there is a low fog, that the wind is very cold. You now notice your own breath.
Yeah.
And when you look down, you can see that there's a long drop.
Do I see the balcony at all?
Not from your vantage point here. You looking out, you think that maybe you're on like the end cap of the building, if that makes sense.
Okay. How wide is the cliff, Greg?
How wide is it?
Yeah,
There's-
is it just cliff as far as I can see? Is there like another balcony 30 feet that way? Is it like how is this?
Yeah, there isn't a balcony here. You look out, you can see the building extend. You can look out,
Okay.
you can see the building extend. There
All right.
aren't any ledges here. This is like a Malibu cliffside house. It's kind of perched up, you believe.
Okay.
With your background, Lindy, I would say you're convinced there have to be some type of stilt action involved here to keep
Yeah.
this kind of housed up, some type of like buttress that kind of keeps it aloft along the side of the building or side of the cliff, but you do not see any type of balconies here. This is just windows.
And there's stuff going on at the beach. Can I see the fan from where I'm at? Or is that too far over?
Let me see. With a 21, you can catch a little bit of the implements off to your left. You can see
to my left.
You can see a few of like those like architectural designs.
Cool. 80 steps. How climbable is the facade of this beach house?
You mean like scalable, like free climbing?
Yeah.
Is free climbing
or
something?
The cliff.
Are you experienced in free climbing or?
I imagine she's had to climb for a lot of ingredients in her time.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Medicinal things.
What were you planning on using here? Like athletics?
Athletics,
strength?
physique.
Physique,
Yeah.
Okay, give me let's use one of those rolls to kind of give me a physique or an athletics to kind of gauge if this is something you could do. Like if you've done something like this before, then maybe
sure.
You can...
I'll just roll a physique because I see that right now. So 21.
Yeah, you think you might be able to.
Okay. That sounds like less steps than trying to navigate these stupid human construction hallways, potentially. So, I'm gonna... How does this window situation look? This windowsill window situation? Are there shutters? Are there panes? Do they have like the fancy big curtains with like the curtain tie-offs to the side?
Yes, and those are like I told you before, they sort of have like a net-like quality to them. There's a gossamer kind of interior with like a net kind of decoration. Those are blowing in the wind. This is more of kind of like the southern type of style where it's almost like a French door instead of a window. This is something that kind of opens out, but
Does it have that middle piece for the doors to connect to?
It does not have the middle
frame?
It does not have the middle piece. It seems they just latch together. There's probably a fitting for a storm, but there is a railing, kind of like a pseudo balcony that is about like hip height. It's not code, but decoration wise, it's just like trip level. Like if you were drunk and opened it up and you just topple it to your death.
I'm gonna tie my rope to that, Greg, and I'm gonna climb my way towards the fan and that side of the place.
Are you lowering yourself down to the beach? Or are you going to try to like get momentum and get out there and swing to some...
I'm going to get momentum and I'm going to swing, Greg. I got a rope.
Okay.
And I only got 80 steps left. So swinging doesn't count as stepping. That's all I'm saying. So... All
right. You're right. We need a Fitbit for this. Okay.
Yes.
Here's what I'd like to do then. I would like to
Yes.
Let's see. Roll me I guess just a dex or some type. We don't have acrobatics, do we? We have...
No, we don't. I could roll a wilderness survival for my previous cliff climbing experiences.
No. This is to see how you can... The economy of your steps. I'm trying to figure out how you can you position yourself and try to really kind of lower your step count here. So go ahead and roll me. I will take either two things here. I will take an intelligence-based skill that you can sell me on, or a dex-based skill you can sell me on.
All right. Okay, Greg. Let's say, so I know I only have 80 steps left. I'm gonna say this is either a wilderness survival for my previous herb gathering and material grabbing things, or an awareness check because I have to be very aware of how many steps I'm taking.
Sure, okay, I'll go with either, whatever you want.
Okay, all right. Yes, I'm going to roll wilderness survival. This is just like that time I had to get these super rare eggs off of this cliff. These albatross eggs, super rare, super difficult. And I'm spending a point of luck because why not, right? 29.
Okay, roll a d6.
2.
Somehow you did this, the preparation, in 2 steps. So you
Wonderful.
have 78 steps left here.
Yep. Oh, I've got a step tracker on my notes, Greg.
I do too. So as you begin to lower yourself on your rope tied to this element, this decorative element of the, how do you tie it off? Just on the railing, or are you looking for?
On the railing, as low down as possible. Give me more swing, less balcony for it to bounce off of.
Okay. So you kind of tie it down on the base area that moves across there. Go ahead and roll me an athletics here as you start to get your swing going, because this is going to be like a monster swing because you're trying to get as much as you possibly can, right?
Yeah, and this is an athletics, not a physique or an endurance, right?
This would be athletics because this one's more putting it all together.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my last 4 luck on this.
Sure.
Yeah, so because I might need that. 23.
With a 23,
swing like Johnny Depp on Pirates of the Caribbean, just.
You are moving. Like, yeah, you're getting like, you go back the other way and you realize you're exactly where you thought you were. You're at the end of the building. And so as you swing back away from the fan, you see back towards the peninsula on this big cliff where the villa sits. And then when you swing down, you can actually see the area of beach where you all appeared, where Wim talked to Shanaz the mermaid. And as you swing out, you see more and more of the fan. And as you hit the apex, roll me an awareness.
I'd love to. 19.
Okay. One thing you see for sure, there is a massive humanoid with one eye in the forehead, maybe 40 feet tall, heading towards the villa. With the other 19, you can see Ainfra and Eris are on the like you at the very apex of your swing. You kind of go up as your hair kind of shifts momentum. You can see Ainfra and Eris for just a beat as you go up and then come back down, and then you reach it again, and whoom. As you come around, you do see that the patio is about, well, you're not exactly sure with that awareness roll. You'd say somewhere between 15 and 25 feet from the apex of your swing, like the edge of the patio.
Up or out?
Out. So
that's much better then.
But it's at
I've fallen off a swing set before. You go real far.
Right, but okay, let me describe this then. At your apex, at the very height, it's 15 to 25 feet out. So it's on the
level up first.
Okay.
I think then she'll be like, "Hey, fuckers, catch me!" as I swing. Cause I'm trying to make that apex a little higher.
Okay, well, that's your trying.
And I hope that's crude enough to grab Eris's attention at least.
So you're yelling out, "Hey, fuckers, catch me!"
Yes.
Let's bring in everybody else because there's no real way I can do this without everybody else.
Succinct.
Yes.
I want Eris and Ainfra to roll me an awareness as you are looking at what was just explained, the arrival, the birth of the wild hunt. At the you all are in sync at the exact same time when you're thinking, you both think wild hunt, creature with one eye. Catch me, fuckers! You both hear from off to your right. As you turn, you see the hair of Yannick come up and then disappear. What do the two of you do? I gotta change the music.
Can I make a check to see if I can grab her arm?
I will let you know this right now. As you move towards the edge of the balcony, you see that there is, from where she appeared, there is a good 25 feet. So, and then there's a drop.
I don't have rope. Like,
you just want to extend out and try to give that 3 or 4 feet of extra grab.
No. Yeah, Yannick was like motioning, and I'm like, I don't have rope.
How do you not have rope? You're a
because it's on my horse. Because I'm not in.
She's
I don't
gone.
walk
She's
into
gone.
civilized situations.
No. This is a conversation in brief moments. So it's like, I don't have any rope. You don't have any rope. And then she's gone. So you've got to wait.
Can I just you said that there was, a nice banquet displayed and all of these things. Ainfra's pulling couch cushions and shoving them to the other side of the balcony.
Okay.
Those lounger cushions you get outside loungers?
You know what? Like, realizing this, I presume we're in fancy places. So there's a tablecloth, right?
Yes.
Sure.
You know that trick?
Sure. The flowers are still standing.
I can't do it. But maybe Eris could. So just seeing this come up, I'm gonna see if I can do it in one and get it flipped over the edge in time to catch her on her next swing.
Okay, so you want to try to, but you're attempting to pull it without moving anything off the table.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's do that first. I want you to roll me. I'll give you two things that you can roll here. You can roll me an athletics or a social etiquette.
I'm gonna say, what does social etiquette come under?
Wisdom, isn't it? Or will?
No,
Intelligence.
it's intelligence.
It's intelligence. Okay.
No, these are the sorts of Okay, hold on. So that's that, and that's that. I need to actually see which is. Yeah, it's gonna be not by much, but it's gonna be athletics.
Things we did not expect to do on our beach episode for 400, right?
Yeah, sure. Is this the role to get the? Is this all of it to like help her up as well, or is this just for the tablecloth?
No, I'm not going to be a dick like that. This is to get the tablecloth out and ready, like in position to kind of throw out and like wrap in her so she can kind of grab. That's what I assume you're trying to get it to use. Its length. Okay.
In which case, I'm not going to spend any luck. So let me just.
36.
On a 36.
Okay, we pause. Ainfra, what are you doing? You're meeting no resistance. Everybody is screaming because there's a 40-foot tall creature coming at them. So the servants have kind of taken off. Even the guards are pulling way back inside the villa. You can grab cushions and throw them over to the corner, presumably as like a fall drop for if somebody.
Because I'm assuming I'm watching Eris run to this, I'm watching Eris pull the tablecloth and then run to the side. She's looking at where they came up and like doing that very quick math trajectory, probably not perfect, but doing it as quickly as she can to like kind of start shoving cushions for him to fall backwards onto.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And I'm not gonna. I'll tell you what though. Roll me in athletics to see how many you get over there.
Okay. Okay. This is gonna be great, y'all. No. This is gonna be horrible, y'all. Because that's the way life is going.
The athletics checks.
Well,
yes,
yeah, I mean,
I don't have athletics.
What you run into here is it's really not your fault. Some of these are actually tied to the chairs, like kind of like storm things that they would actually take care of. Who did it? Okay, hold on. Wait,
it was me. I went to hit the mute button and it hit the wrong one.
Look at, can you all? You're doing it. You're doing it, everybody.
Jay, if we need you to turn the camera off.
Yep. Everybody, here you can see how the sausage is being made here. Everybody. Yes, Ainfra, and then I think it's JF. Yep, and then your guess is as good as mine. Let's go, Lindy. It's not Lindy. Lindy, turn off. Billy. And then Josh. Then Lindy. There we go, everybody. Yay!
Well orchestrated machine.
Yeah, I tried. She tried. And she...
Yeah, and but like I said,
I meant the Zoom call.
I understand that.
This is a clusterfuck.
So as you get everything set up here, you just kind of run into resistance, but you do get two of the long cushions over there, and you get them kind of placed in the general vicinity of where Eris is. We're gonna cut to Yannick. Yannick, you're on like the back end of your pendulum. you know that your rope does not go as far as needs to be. So you are going to have to either come up with a new plan or... Okay, if you're going to Tom Petty this, you are going to need to time this like crackerjack timing.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. That sounds like an intelligence check, Greg.
Sure. So yeah, if you want to do an awareness, or a deduction or something of that nature.
I'll do a deduction. That actually sounds really fitting for figuring out the timing.
Right. So as you roll your deduction, this is to fling yourself into the void.
So let's see how this goes. 21.
21. Okay. So with a 21, like Voltron, all of our forces combine here as Ainfra throws the last of the cushions over there, and Yannick reaches the apex and releases her let's go of the rope, the safety net, and floats in air towards the balcony, realizing that she is going to fall short almost as soon as she releases from the rope. But there's that wonderful moment of suspending in air, and like a matador, you see Eris pull the tablecloth from the table. Some of the candles remain lit and standing. Everything is perfect as it was. There's no spinning saucer. There's no turned over water. Everything is exactly as it was, sans tablecloth. And again, like a matador, all of this in the amber moment of you floating through the air, you see the whip.
A second of just like weightlessness.
Yep. And within a second, and a second is all you have, you are wrapped up in a tablecloth. Roll me an athletics.
Me? Just making sure that you're talking to me.
I am.
Okay. Wasn't sure if you were talking to El Matador over here.
He's done his thing.
Come on, roll 20, click.
Yes, everybody.
In Witcher locker rooms, you learn how to whip a cloth or something like that.
Right.
15.
Okay, so with a 15, I will let everybody know too that 15 is also the number that was donated by Big Pig, as Steve gave everybody Swallow for All, so hit points for everybody.
Fantastic.
As it came in. You feel the cloth, and then you feel it sliding through your hands. And at the last possible second, your hand grabs as your left hand and your left hand alone is jerked up ahead of you, the expanse of 60 feet of free falling beneath your toes.
I think she just starts laughing at this point. This may be the first time in front Eris hear her just full on laugh.
Eris, you would have felt nothing on the end of that apron and then, or that cloth, and then all of a sudden the pool of weight and laughter.
Eris realizes that he can't attribute to why his friend is on the side of a building, and he has questions. He has so many questions, but you know what? Not today. No, today things are just going to be simple. I'm done. So, is there like a, I can't remember what you call them, like balustrades?
Oh.
To the, okay. He's
Absolutely,
going to like go taut both feet to that, and then he's going to loop his arm under one side of the thing. And I imagine Yannick doesn't seem like the most I feel Eris thinks she's about to fall to her death. So
you're probably not wrong.
he's going to like hook it under, so it now runs under and through the railing, and then he's going to look to Ainfra and just say, "We need to run." And then he's going to jump off the edge, holding onto the other end, and I'm going to use my counterweight to hoist Yannick up so she doesn't have to make bullshit climb checks because I'm done with like I don't have time to wait for Yannicka to waddle her way up the wall. We have to leave right now.
Josh, that is the most fucking aggressive player to GM shit. I don't have time for bullshit climbing checks.
I don't.
I love everything about this scene. Just
okay, so
Ainfra sees this, comes running over, and is ready to reach down and grab Yannicka the minute she pulls up. The counterweight.
Okay, so as we narratively leave this for a second, because there's going to be a roll here, as Eris jumps off and the cloth catches and begins to pull Yannicka up, Ainfra, you are poised and ready to grab Yannicka as she comes up. It's at this moment that Yannicka, in the bag, you hear in almost a chorus with your own, the two voices, well, the one voice and just laughter from the second skull. There's a choral of elven laughter, at least you can hear it, as you are jerked upwards. And Eris, as you go down, you see the wisps of blue hair of tears creep out as her head is right beside yours on the shoulder as you are riding down. And if you look or see a reflection, her mouth is wide in a smile as she sees you, sees what you're doing, and sees the sea. But Ainfra, you're the only one that gets to look, and you're the only one that gets to bear witness for what could potentially be, I don't know, I could be getting new artwork done. So
No, it's okay. Ainfra also has another plan.
Okay, I know, I'm sure you do. Okay, so as all of this is happening and we hold in the air, I will let you both know that I'm going to have Yannicka, you're going to be making a physique, and an athletics will be coming from Eris. But let us go back down to the water. Wim, you are standing at the water's edge. You have just witnessed Duke Aglaval jump into the water. And
in response to that, being a witcher with enhanced reflexes, while he's saying his theatrical exit line,
sure,
do I have an opportunity to grab him?
Yeah, you can attempt to grab. Yeah.
Yeah. What you want for that?
Let's do a physique. How's that sound?
That sounds great. I love that idea.
Sure.
Huge fan of that particular idea. 28.
Okay. 30.
Shitballs.
Sorry, buddy.
Hey, well, it's literally the roll of the dice. Okay, so continue.
he dives in and disappears. You do not see him resurface. However, you, much like Ainfra is bearing witness to the shenanigans of your brother and Yannicka, you see the rise of this cyclops that comes out of the water. It has seaweed draped all over its humanoid, the barrel of its chest, the kind of almost the distension of its belly as it comes up out of the water and begins to rumble, a huge sucking step through the deep water as it moves through the bay much quicker than anyone should be able to move through water like this, to the point where the waves are being affected where you are. You're seeing a rise in the surf, a rise in kind of like a storm surge type of scenario, and it's got these massive red motes coming off the side of its one open eye. What do you do?
All right, so these waves that are coming in, this storm surge, and they're still coming up pretty high, right, at this point, and I imagine they would have increased. I want to time it so when a large wave comes at me, I'll catch the force of it and swim to shore.
You're going to body surf.
Yeah, whatever you hippies call it. Oh, I broke him. Oh no, I broke Greg. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
That's the best. Oh, whatever you hippies call it. Oh, buddy. Oh, I needed to laugh like that. Thank you. Everybody, I want claps in chat for Billy. That was a great one. That was an awesome one. I loved it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna throw. Hold on. That was amazing. That was awesome. Boop 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 boop. I love it. Everything. Throw a little Grant in there too.
Us corn-fed boys just call it trying hard.
So, okay, as you perform one of my patented hippie maneuvers, I would like you to roll an athletics. As you hit this water, you realize how cold it is. You realize that elements of it are beginning to actually freeze. So with this athletics, we'll see just how well you can ride this thing in.
28.
Okay, yeah, you're able to ride in, and for a moment you actually feel the solid nature of this ice beneath you as you kind of hit and slide across this ice and then back into the water and ride the surf, and you crash in and can hear the splintering of this ice. And as you turn around, you see that the cyclops is now bursting out of ice, almost as if it's glass. You see and hear the cracks as it pulls its legs and shins free. And when you look back at the wave that bore you, it is frozen above your head. You are inside this frozen pipeline. The blue and the whites kind of mirrored in here. You also think that if Aglaval is beneath the waves, he might be staying there. What do you do, bud?
Okay. Well, plan B. So I want to kind of like crab walk backwards and then try to run to the shore. So there were servants that came down with us.
They are gone. However, you do see 3 boxes.
Yeah, I'm fucking grabbing those motherfuckers.
You gotta stop and grab all of them. They're spread out just a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'll aim, since they're all the boxes look the same, I'm guessing.
You can tell which is in each one just because of the shape. They're all kind of shaped to the item. Like the helm kind of looks like a bowling ball bag. The gauntleted one is almost a long letter box, and the one that holds the painting is flat and almost like a chessboard type of size.
Okay, so I'll take the helmet, and however far they are apart, I'll go with the small ones and try to, strategically make the shortest point is a straight line. So I'll kind of make split-second decisions into grabbing all 3. In the event that I can get all 3, I have a plan for how I'm going to carry them that makes the most sense.
Roll me a deduction.
As Billy's years of loading trucks at UPS may come into play. $24.
You believe that you can get them all, but you also believe that the Cyclops will close on you by the time you get to the 3rd.
All right, well, I'm a nimbly bimbly, or at least I'd like to think so. So he's going to commit to getting all 3.
Okay, let me see. What did you get? A 24? I'll go ahead and give this to you. The DC was 25, but I think this is something that needs to be stated. You believe that if you get to that 3rd one and pick it up, in all likelihood, should this Cyclops wish to do something to you, you believe that it would have the ability to do so when you are in a compromised position, i.e. bending over to pick something up or scooping something off the ground or in otherwise not defending an attack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Totally up to you, though.
Yeah, no, I'm
showing the cards.
Yeah. Those, I'll risk something in a compromised position because these things I feel can greatly help the party in several ways, and that's what I'm going to commit to. I'm going to do it.
Okay, let's stay here. And where's my guy? Okay, I need to give me 1 second. Oops, that's not right. You reach down and grab the last of the packages. This is the one that you know that contains the painting. As you touch the package, you feel something connect with your back. As you get lifted into the air and go flying towards the top of the patio. You're going to take 46 points of damage, my friend. There is no critical involved in this because you're at a disadvantaged position. I'm not going to roll critical on top of it. But you take 46 and it's going to hit you in the torso. So your torso is going to take 10 points of durability damage as you feel it kind of bend into your back as you are launched. I need you to roll an athletics for me as you attempt to hold on to your hard-fought gains.
Now, 46 points of straight damage. Is there stopping power included in that?
Stopping power is included in this.
Okay.
And then
so
also remember that you received 5 points from Steve as well. So those will go first.
Okay, so then that'll be 41. Stopping power is, with the heavy armor that I have on, 30.
11.
That loses 10. So 11 damage to me, halved, right?
No, the 11 gets through. The 11, that straight gets through to you. That's to your base hit points, but that the other 5 would be the 5 that Steve gave you. And then 11 from your normal hit points of that, your regular hit points. And then your chest plate is down from 30 to 20 as you get smashed. But I'd like to see your athletics as you have all 3 packages, like you're coming back for, a holiday sale or something.
Like a UPS driver.
Like the UPS driver voice from nowhere.
24.
Okay. Here's the devil's bargain, Billy, and I'm going to let you think about this. You have been launched to the point where you have traveled up the fan and are heading towards the patio. You are holding on to everything that you have. However, you are still moving. You are going to hit the house. You can drop what you have, or you can take what's going to happen.
Okay, so there's a balcony involved, correct?
You are currently over the balcony.
Okay.
You can see your brother jump over the side.
I want to see if I can time the drop to drop the boxes around my brother. If in the recognition of this sudden flight of airlessness and my spine is somehow magically still intact.
You mean
You don't
You
want to
mean
aim for it.
I'm already over the edge and hanging from a tablecloth.
Okay.
So
Ainfra's there though.
Ainfra's there.
I can't wait for you to throw them to me and me to grab them and be like, ha! I'm missing something in my hands as I fall to my death.
Okay. All right. Sorry, that's not how I envisioned it.
Ainfra's
Leave them on
there.
the patio.
Ainfra's there.
Just drop them on the patio.
How far above the patio am I?
You are going at a solid kind of level 8 feet. Just like a fucking rocket, man. Just like a low rocket. Shoo.
Cool. Yeah, so I want to try to drop them near some furniture or something to kind of stop their impact.
I will tell you
Only
this.
someone had piled a load of
Exactly. It seems that somebody has put some cushions on the ground here. Again, you think in the 6.6 seconds you have before hitting, I will allow you to try let's see.
Can I see the giant cannonball of whim approaching?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is...
Can I just kick one of the cushions towards him?
Prax, let me tell you, if there's anything that can drag you away from one of the Gesso brothers jumping over the side of a balcony, it's the other one coming like a fucking rocket towards the house, carrying what looks like presents. So as this is all occurring, and as it's addition by subtraction, you lose one of them, you got another one back. As he comes rocketing towards the house, I want an athletics from Prax to try to throw it over in the most advantageous position. I want an athletics from Billy as he tries to drop him just before he crashes. And let's get those results.
I mean, I'm not expecting greatness here. She's just side kicking a cushion, behind her kind of thing.
23.
This is gonna be horrible. Oh, 20! Oh my gosh!
So in an act of absolute redemption, Ainfra, tell me how you get this cushion in position to catch the gifts as they are delivered.
No, I literally think it's one of those. It's like she's got two of the long ones and she watches Eris jump over the side. She knows that she's going to have to try and grab Yannick, and she needs to keep this one. And then, oh, wait, here comes a flying bear, literally. And she just like, you know, have you ever like done soccer and just side kicks from the inside to shove it to the far side of the field?
Oh, yeah.
That's what she's doing. She's just doing that. She's like, she's crossing it. Just crossing one and being like, I hope that lands where it's supposed to. And there's a bear who lands and not a smear of bear.
Right. So as this happens, Billy, you are able to deposit onto almost as if it had been planned in this grand circus of the insane. As you drop that on there, you are going to take, through your armor, 10 additional points of damage as you crash into the wall and slide down, but your 3 packages plop nicely onto the plush chairs of the Aglaval deck. And as you land and slide down, almost like a fallen boxer in some misbegotten tavern, and as you slide down, taking that knockout punch, though your wits are still about you, you look back over the ocean, and where you should only be able to see the distant horizon, you see the large head with the eye coming closer and closer. But make an awareness check for me, Billy, as your sight goes beyond that.
All right. Man, those 23, 24.
Beyond the figure dominating your vision, this cyclops, you see 4 figures riding on the waves. You can see the horses throwing ice as they ride from the deep sea towards the shore. Let's cut back to Deucey. Deucey, you are in the middle of this fight. I want you to make another intimidation check as you and the captain have torn down 3 of these creatures in a matter of seconds. Listen, I'm lowering the DC because of death by kebab, which is goddamn terrifying. So
how many do I have? I think I have 3 on the kebab now.
You have 2 on the kebab
2.
that are burning.
Yeah, burning.
Their corpses are burning, and you are still fighting.
To amplify that intimidation, he's going to get them, like he has them on his sword right ahead of him. He's going to put them to the side here on their feet, like, you know, on their feet. And then he's going to fling them, these flaming men, at the other 3.
That's your intimidation check. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the intimidation. He's probably not going to hit him or anything, but he's flinging flaming men is the tactic. And the intimidation is coming right up with yeah. But I have a +2, and then there's another +4, so that's a +6. So that's 20.
With a 20, as you throw these burning Doppel corpses towards the apparently Nilfgaardian soldiers, who you now believe are probably Dopplers themselves, you see them turn and run. They are running back into the villa in the direction in which you approached Ezren and Robert of Sedaris. And as they run, the captain of the guard turns to you. Everyone vacant now except those that are getting colder and not older. Breath coming out of her own mouth as she looks over, and she extends her hand and says, Commander Fawfrey.
He extends his and says, the night.
If she finds the moniker strange, she does not show it. as she sits there and begins to shake her head, is like trying to clear cobwebs. What is happening here? These are Dopplers, are they not?
Yes, they are. And he'll look to where Ezren disappeared.
Ezren is gone, but the sword remains in the dirt. Do you see the sword kind of moving?
He'll grab that. Step up and grab it.
As you step up and grab the sword, there is a hum, a shimmer, very similar to the sound that you heard whenever Ainfra would open a portal. And you see, splitting the oak of the tree, this tree in this courtyard, it cracks as if struck by lightning, or the blade of an axeman, of a lumberjack. And inside that tree is a dark swirl, and a large booted foot steps out, and another. The head appears, seemingly wearing a crown on the outside of its helmet. The helmet itself bearing the carriage of a skull. A large black-bladed sword is in the grasp of the hand as it steps through, and you can actually hear from behind the helm a sniff.
All right, he'll raise cock his head, look at it.
Roll me.
Got if it's hostile.
A Witcher training.
Okay. Yeah, he seems to remind him of something he read in one of those Witcher tomes. Let's get to the Witcher training here. Yes. Oh boy, that's a 6, and then I got to roll the fumble, so it's definitely not good. Oh my god, that's -1. He did not. No, he knows nothing about this.
Okay, so Ezren, Deucey, this is not a mind blank, but this is just in the middle of that adrenaline where moments after you've just finished all this, you've pulled the blade up and another person has appeared through a split tree. And you hear, though, from over your shoulder, the captain of the guard, Fofri, say, "King." And you hear her blade clatter to the ground.
Look at her. A bit apprehensive.
Within a second, you feel the ice-cold grip of frost explode from this individual. You feel it up your legs. You feel it inside your armor, coming up your throat. You feel it resting within your whiskers, in your hair, in your eyebrows, as everything becomes brittle beneath this killer frost. You hear a scream come out of the captain of the guard's throat, but her throat seems to gag as if something is obstructing it. You take 22 points of cold damage that bypasses your armor. You feel this blistering frostbite hit you.
We'll lean on his Chimerian sword and turn to look at that thing.
It seems to be walking towards the same direction that Ezren went. As it crosses from the sundered tree, its footsteps leaving deeper tracks of ice along the frost-bitten ground. It doesn't look at you at all. The captain of the guard is alive, but you can see that her skin, once dark and filled with the appropriate exposure to the sun, is now ashy and pale. And you can see that she is almost the veins have popped out on one side of her face. You can see that the ice has crept up into her eye. You're not sure if she even still has sight in it, but the one eye that you do know bears the ability to see tracks to this creature and this creature only. She too has forgotten about you. Deuce, as we pull away, what do you do?
Well, he's going to grab her like a sack of potatoes, put her on his shoulder, and thinking that a doctor would be required, he'll go, and not wanting to follow that thing anywhere, despite the fact that the usurper is over there somewhere. He'll start heading to where he last saw his friends.
So as you disappear deep into the villa in the same direction that the posing Nilfgaardian knights went, the only way that you know to go in this area, we cut back out to the patio. What were your rolls, my friends, as one goes up and one goes down?
Well, let's see, shall we? Let's see. Physique for me. 22.
And athletics, I believe, is what we said, for
Yeah, that's what you
Eris.
said for Eris.
$24.
One goes down, one goes up. Yannick, you go flying over the railing. You are going to clear it. Are you going to try to stick the landing, or are you... Sticking the landing's going to hurt. Running with the landing will not hurt you.
Oh, Reg. I'm gonna try to stick the landing.
Roll me an okay, with the athletics that you have, I'll say this, you're going to take 4 hit points of damage. Is that...
Oh, that's fine. I'm
Okay.
not worried about...
You take 4...
Not worried about it now.
And you stick it like, what was her name? Carrie Straub. You hit a bad ankle and everything.
Yeah.
Ainfra, you have control of the other end of the... I know it's pulleyed and wrapped up and everything, but you have control of the other end. Eris, are you climbing back up? Is that your intent?
Literally, the second I hit the bottom, I'm going to use that momentum to fulcrum swing my way back up and show Yannick how this is meant to be done.
Okay, then roll me an athletics as you hit the top of the spin.
Wouldn't this be a great moment if Eris was like off the table, was like, "Let me show you how this is done," and then he just
Face
marmalade
plants.
all over
Just eats
the
it.
beach, just completely eats it. Another athletics.
Yeah. This is for the
Mhm.
dismount.
This is for the dismount.
I'm gonna spend my luck. Yeah, gonna spend my luck. That's 29.
Looks great.
And in one of the most beautiful sequences so far in this campaign, Eris is able to pull a tablecloth from a table, keeping everything standing. The only witness that could possibly speak of this entirety would be Ainfra, and I leave it entirely up to Prax if she would ever tell it to anybody. So, but you bore witness to this amazing thing. But again, it is only your story to tell or corroborate. But as Eris lands, this massive cyclops begins to crack and smash through the fan, busting the marble and all of the decoration that was there. And everyone can see the 4 riders that are approaching, maybe a quarter mile out into the bay. They are riding. And as they ride, you can see frozen from the waist up is Shanaz the mermaid. And as they ride by, they pull out swords, and the one in the lead beheads the mermaid as they ride by. And that, my friends, is the end of this session of the Witcher Family of Wraiths.